Hello children, welcome to aimsindia's online classes. This is biology session. You are watching movements in living beings. So, we have completed the lesson successfully. So, today let us discuss some of the questions which appeared in the previous contests from this chapter. But before going to that, let us briefly review the key concepts. Children, what is locomotion? Locomotion is defined as the ability of the body to move from one place to another. Can you tell, can you give some examples of locomotion? Yes, walking, moving, jumping, crawling, propelling, etc., hopping, whatever it may be. So, what is movement then? Locomotion means the complete movement of an organism is called as locomotion, and movement means partial movement, okay, partial displacement. Okay. We have studied different types of movements like ciliary movement, amoeboid movement. Okay, let us what is ciliary movement? It occurs in the internal organs that are lined by ciliated epithelium. Okay, one kind of the epithelial tissue, ciliated epithelium. Can you give example of for ciliary movement? Internal ciliary movement, the movement of ova in the oviduct is one of the example. Okay. Amoeboid movement. What is amoeboid movement? It occurs by streaming of the protoplasm as observed in amoeba. It occurs in macrophages and leukocytes. Leukocytes means WBC, white blood cells. Okay. And we studied about the joints which are present in the body. The joints are classified into different types. The joints which are present in the skull, they are called fixed joints. Okay, there is no movement. The only the movable part of the skull is lower jaw, mandibularis, mandible. Okay, and the slightly movable joints and freely movable joints are present in our body. If you take the freely movable joints, in the neck region, pivot joint is present. Okay, see the movement of the direction of the movement. Then in the shoulders and in the hip region, there is a joint called ball and socket joint. Okay. So, it is a freely movable joint. Then you will see in the thumb saddle joint is present, in the fingers ellipsoid joint is present. Okay, in the knees and in the elbow and knee, what is that joint? Hinge joint is present, which move in only one direction. Then in the leg, gliding plate is present, okay, in the toe. Okay, children, and we study about the skeleton muscles. The skeleton, human skeleton is divided into axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton means up to thoracic region, head to thoracic region, and appendicular skeleton means abdominal region. Okay. So, axial skeleton includes skull, vertebral column, sternum, this is the sternum, and ribs, these are the ribs. Okay. Whereas appendicular skeleton includes shoulder girdle, limb girdle, and the limbs, limb bones, How many bones are present in each limb? 30 bones are present in each limb. Okay. Then muscular system. If you take the muscular system, there are more than 600 muscles are present. The muscles divided into skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. What are skeletal muscles? These are also called striated muscles, which appear stripes. Stripes and striations are present when you observe under microscope, and these are voluntary muscles. Skeletal muscles are also called voluntary muscles, as they are under the control of our will. They help in locomotion and changes in body posture. They help in locomotion and changes in body posture. The cardiac muscles. What are cardiac muscles? The muscles associated with the heart are called cardiac muscles. They help in the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the heart. They also appear striped striations. Striped or striations are present under when you observe under the microscope, similar to the skeletal muscles. Then smooth muscles. Smooth muscles are involuntary muscles and cannot be controlled by our will. They are present in lining of the alimentary canal, reproductive system, and they do not exhibit characteristic stripes or striations. Okay, children. So, shall we proceed to the worksheet? Yes, let us proceed. NEET and Olympiad level previous contest questions from the chapter Movements in Living Beings. Question 1. We can easily rotate which of these body parts? Neck, finger, knee, elbow. Okay, in the neck region, which joint is present? Pivot joint is present, so we can freely or easily rotate. Okay, both in clockwise and anti-clockwise. So, which type of joint is found between our shoulder and arm? Shoulder and arm. Pivot joint, fixed joint, ball and socket joint, hinge joint. It is the ball and socket joint, freely movable joint present between the shoulder and arm. Ball and socket joint is present in backbone, skull and pelvis, hip and shoulder, elbow and knee, hip and shoulder. Okay. The structures which possess the property of contraction and relaxation are muscles, ligaments, bones, joint. The muscles shows the property of elasticity, contraction and relaxation. The joint which helps us to move our head up and down as well as side to side is hinge joint, pivot joint, ball and socket joint, fixed joint. It is the pivot joint. Okay, head up and down, side, whatever it may be. Which type of joint is found in our knee? Ball and socket joint, pivot joint, fixed joint, hinge joint. It is the hinge joint which move in one direction. It is present in the elbow and knee. Examples of slightly movable joint: bones of skull, joints in tooth sockets, bones of vertebrae, neck joint. It is the bones of vertebrae, the slightly movable joints are present. The joint which allows the movement in one direction only is hinge joint, pivot joint, ball and socket joint, slightly movable joint. It is a hinge joint, acts like a door hinge which allows movement only in one direction. Fixed joints are found in which of these parts of our body? Finger, skull, arm, elbow. Skull. Fixed joints are present in the skull. Cilia are used for locomotion in the case of amoeba, euglena, paramecium, hydra. In paramecium, ciliary movement is observed. The muscles are attached to the bones by tendons, cartilages ligaments, none of these. Tendons. Synovial cavity is found in immobile joints, freely movable joints, slightly movable joints, muscles. It is present in the freely movable joints. The joint which allows movement in one direction only is hinge joint. Which of the following joints allow the maximum movement? Ball and socket joint, hinge joint, fixed joint, gliding joint. It is the ball and socket joint maximum movement. The joints are places where two bones meet, two muscles meet, the end of a muscle meet, a bone and a muscle meet. Joints means two bones meet. Tendons are the tough elastic fibers that attach bones together, the tough non-elastic fibers that attach muscles to bones, soft bony structures that attach bones together, the tissues that are found in bones. It is the tough non-elastic fibers that attach muscles to bones. Which of the following is a hinge joint? Knee joint, shoulder joint, wrist joint, ankle joint. Knee joint. Dash is the movement of an organism from place to place. Nastic movement, tropic movement, locomotion, internal movement. From place to place, locomotion. Dash is an example of the movement of internal body part. Movement of diaphragm, care and feeding of the young ones, movement of limbs, none of the above. It is the movements of diaphragm is an example of internal body. Okay, what is diaphragm? Where it is present, children? The diaphragm is a structure which is present in the chest region. It divides the chest cavity from abdominal cavity. It is a muscular structure. Okay. The place where two bones meet is called muscle, tendon, joint, ligament. It is the joint place where two bones meet. Which of these is a supporting structure in our body? Muscles, nerves, tendons, endoskeleton. It is the endoskeleton, is the supportive structure which gives shape and support and also gives protection. Axial skeleton in man includes which of these? Skull, vertebral column, both. Joints by which the skull bones are articulated in frog are imperfect, movable, immobile, gliding. It is immobile. Skull consists of bones which are immobile. The number of vertebrae in man is 30, 31, 32, 33. There are how many vertebrae, children? 33 vertebrae are present in the human beings. The appendicular skeleton in vertebrates consists of skull and vertebral column, girdles and limbs, vertebral column and limbs, vertebral column and girdles and limbs. Which one of the following membranes secretes a watery fluid that lubricates and cushions the joint? Tendons, synovial membrane, ligaments, cartilage. It is a synovial membrane which secrete a synovial fluid which lubricates and helps in free movement. So, which one of the following bones is the only mobile portion of the skull? Maxilla, mandible, frontal bone, zygomatic bone. It is the mandible or lower jaw. Okay. Which of the following muscles draw the lower jaw, tongue and the head backward? Okay. Abductor muscle, retractor muscle, proctor muscle, all of these. It is the retractor muscle that draw the lower jaw, tongue and the head backward. Which of the following is striped muscle but not voluntary? Wrist muscles, shank, cardiac muscles, abdominal muscles. It is the cardiac muscle. Okay, it is structurally it is a skeletal muscle or striped muscle, but functionally it is a involuntary. Okay. Which one of the following is correct pairing of a body part and the kind of muscle tissue that moves it? Okay. Option A, iris, involuntary smooth muscle; heart wall, involuntary unstriated muscle; biceps of upper arm, smooth muscle fibers; abdominal wall, smooth muscle. Okay, here iris of eye, actual iris is a part of eye, it is made up of involuntary smooth muscle. Okay. So, which muscle is adapted to be highly resistant to fatigue? Cardiac muscle, striped muscle, unstriped muscle, voluntary muscle. It is the cardiac muscle which work continuously without fatigue from birth to death. The dash connects the ends of bones together: ligaments, tendons, muscles, cartilages. It is not cartilages, it is a cartilages. Okay. So, it is the ligament which connects the ends of the two bones, or two bones bind each other by ligaments, the fibrous structure. So, which kind of joint? The sutures of the cranium is essentially immobile: cartilaginous joint, fibrous joint, hinge joint, ball and socket joint. Okay, it is the fibrous joints. Okay, they are called the sutures of the cranium. Okay, cement or fix the bones together, cranium. Which joint occurs between the humerus and radioulna? Ball and socket joint, sliding joint, pivot joint, hinge joint. Which one, children? Hinge joint. So, which of the following is the wrist bone? Pubis, ulna, carpal, femur. It is the carpal. Which is the largest synovial joint of the human body? Knee joint, shoulder joint, elbow joint, hip joint. It is the hip joint. Okay, ball and socket joint is the largest synovial joint of the body, human body. Where is the ball and socket joint found? Shoulder, atlas and axis, atlas and head, knee. It is in the shoulder. Okay, children, hope you followed. So, these are some of the questions, and in the assessment 2 more questions we are going to discuss. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.